Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, event professionals across the United States of America. We are here to party with the Event Ensemble team today. And we have an awesome lineup for you still coming into the room, but I'm going to get the party started because we have a lot to cover regarding the Costanza Principle coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, some event news that you can use. I want to talk today about a referral. I know we're a networking group and we pass referrals and we refer to one another. But just to be clear, whether we're referring to one another or you in a group or in a social setting, you say, I highly recommend, and then you fill in the blank, whether it's travel or planner or DJ or caterer or band or whatever it is, your referral is the introduction. The member or the person you're referring still has to do their work. They still have to seal the deal, sell the service. I can only make the connection. But in addition to making the connection and following up and following through to see, what the experience was like so that you know that you can continue to refer that particular service, recognize that it doesn't always go right. It just doesn't. And it happens. I've had a bad day. A couple of people that I've worked with know I've had a bad day. It can happen. But by the same token, just because I am in love with the Pantone color of 2023, which was magenta, does not mean that I'm so keen on the color in 2024. And the same is true when you refer a service. Just because you love them doesn't mean that the person that you're referring them to is going to love them as well. They, the people that are hiring the service, need to do their due diligence. And that means they should check references. They should interview the vendor service and not just assume, well, because Joe said they were great, then I will hire them. And recently I got some feedback regarding somebody that I referred, and the client was unhappy with the service. And I was apologetic, and I felt bad. I had some egg on my face that I had to wipe off. But ultimately, just remember, when you're passing a referral, whoever you pass it to, they, in turn, have to do some kind of research, follow-up, follow-through, that it's not a carte blanche, take it at its word kind of thing. And so you got to be careful. Don't let that stop you from referring. Just keep it in mind. All right. In case you haven't seen what's going on in Event Ensemble, I posted early this morning, probably at 3 o'clock in the morning when you were all sleeping. But I have great news that in 2024, the online calendar for presenting to Event Ensemble is now open. And there are two Calendly links. They're both different, but they both look the same. One is for presenting online, which is our first and second Tuesday of the month, or in person, which is the third Thursday of the month at Panera Bread in Scottsdale. Yes, the Scottsdale meeting is a hybrid meeting, but if you want to present to the group on that third Thursday, you got to be in the room because that is our preference. We don't want to be doing, Zoom in the room when we've got a bunch of people that are there present. I understand things change, and that's one of the reasons why I've been hesitant to return to this model for our group, because I had so many cancellations. So please, if you get on the calendar, consider it an event. Now, if you book an event, I get it, but treat it like an event and do your best to be there. And don't tell me the day of the meeting that you can't make it. Okay. And again, those are some of the things that were happening, which is why we stopped doing these. But we're back in person, and I might even be adding a night shift back again, which would be nice for those people who can't do, the morning meetings. Anyway, check them out. It's posted in the group, and I'll be posting. I also sent an email about it this morning, and I'll be posting regularly because I want to fill the calendar. So there's 2 on any first or second Thursday, and there's 2 on any third Thursday, and they're 10 to 15 minutes each. Okay, and then in addition to the presentations, we'll also have regular meeting content. Also, if you are new to the crew, this will appear new. But if you've been with us a while, thank you very much, Therese, and many of you, then you know that BC, before COVID, that our meeting price was $25 and all the meetings were in person. And when we shifted to online, we wanted everybody to be able to benefit from this content. So we had a very nominal fee of $5 a month or $60 a month, pardon me, a year. Or if you wanted to be in the online directory, it's an additional $5. So starting in 2024, we have changed the rates, and it is now $10 per month or $15 if you want to be in the directory, $120 for the year as opposed to $60, and it's $180 if you want to be in the directory. So it pays to be in the directory, and it's again nominal in comparison to paying $25 and going to 2 meetings a month. That would be $50 a month. So it's just a small increase in comparison to where we used to be. And from my perspective, it's still a great value. But don't ask me, ask yourself. And if you're asking yourself and you're saying, I don't know, then you need to attend meetings more often and get more involved with our group, because that's where it makes the difference. And presenting to the group, see, full circle there. Presenting, small increase, moving on. Okay, if you have not listened to any of Alan Berg's podcasts, okay, but you gotta listen to the one that he did recently where he interviewed and spoke with the co-author of The Go Giver. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. And I don't say that lightly. It was truly incredible. It was business revelation changing. If you're looking at what are you charging and how are you doing business and why you do what you do and how you do what you do, then I'm here to tell you that particular Go Giver edition of Alan Berg's podcast was absolutely incredible. Has anybody raised a hand? Has anybody listened to that one yet? Okay, see, Therese did. Thank you very much. Did you like it as much as I did, or am I going over the top?
No, it was really good. And I have always enjoyed that book, Go Giver. But yeah, the interview and the podcast was really good. It made me want to listen to Go Giver again.
See?
And also and also to re-listen to Alan Berg's Shut Up and Sell More book again.
Yes. He has a variety of different books, great fun titles, and they're all available on Audible, including in different languages if that happens to be your thing. So check it out. All right. I don't see this often, and I do it when I can, but last Saturday's holiday party was so event ensemble troupe that I couldn't resist. Felix Construction Company had a party, and Jeanette Noyles, who's an event planner from our group, was the planner of the event, and she got this event 3 years in a row now from an event ensemble referral. Dennis Fike, Rhythm Edition, which is a live band, who did a great performance, just shy of a 5-star for me. They would get 4 stars. We can talk about that later, but in the meantime, I thought they were great, and they are a former member of our group. Jaime Figueroa from Divinity Event Productions, he did the bistro lighting, and I'll tell you, his crew was on it. They were very friendly, very helpful, and got there early and didn't arrive at the end of the party, but shortly after the end of the party, so they weren't chasing guests away trying to drop the bistro lights on their heads. So they did great work. In addition to that, Whitney, who's a bartender who has this, it says trail, but it's actually a trailer, little eye drop trailer, if you're familiar with that orientation. And she had a couple of people in there doing drinks, and it was a really big hit. So if you're not posting online when you do an event, whether it's with event ensemble members or not, take a moment to tag the people that are at the event. I did a wedding, I did a holiday party, I did a birthday party, I did a bar mitzvah, and share the wealth. You'll notice in this post, there's no mention of me being the DJ. It's kind of assumed. It doesn't tag my DJ company or anything like that. It doesn't say how great I was, but instead it focuses on all of these other people. And it got me a great response from those people and from the audience who follows me. Speaking of a great response, you know, a couple of weeks ago we talked about your referral tree. And I said that each event is a tree, and all of the trees that represent the events that you performed is your orchard. And then we discovered, oh my God, a lot of people didn't know what an orchard was. An orchard is a field of fruit trees, whether they're orange trees or apple trees, that's an orchard. Anyway, I mentioned the tree and that each event leads to more events and more referrals if you're networking properly. But you got to be paying attention. And the same is true if you're not paying attention to things that are happening at your events. And a lot of people say to me, well, this never happens. It's because you're not listening, or you're not looking for it so that you can write it down when the moment happens so that you can later use it as a marketing piece. But this happened at a wedding that I did recently, where the bride came over, put her arm around me and said, the guests are only asking me two questions. Where did I find my dress? And where did I find my DJ? And I'll tell you, like most couples, most corporate clients, they're going to give you the best quotes of all. Just do your service, do your best, and then you'll get stuff like this. And then share it. And it's a great way to keep your audience engaged. And with that, I'm now ready, almost ready, to talk about the Costanza Principle. But first, somebody said that I should let everybody get to introduce themselves. So, starting at the top of my screen, DJ Greg James, who are you and what do you do? Hold that thought for a second, James, and I'll let you go next. Greg.
I am Greg James. Playing music is my business, mobile entertainment. I'm an MC as well as a DJ, and I play everything for the 40s till now. I am a DJ, and as I just sent a message out to Scott, I'm off on the road. Y'all have a great day, and let's make it a great day, and thanks so much.
All right, excellent. And Jim, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question or tell me about your travel. Nope, still muted, my friend. Let's see if that helps.
There we go. Hi, I'm Jim Szymanski. I've been in the travel business forever, over 40 years, 106 countries. I love what I do. I will never retire. Every day is a new adventure. We do a lot of European, a lot of bucket lists. If I don't know the answer, we'll find it for you. Don't worry.
I like that. Sandra, you're at the top of my box here now.
Okay, I'm your gift guru. So you as professionals, if you're looking to really say thank you to your vendors, to whoever, then Cutco is something that really makes a difference, because you can, one, it becomes marketing just by putting your name and number on it. But it's something they're going to use every day. People use a knife, whether they cook or not, and that kind of stuff. The other thing is, when you're doing those wedding events, those couples, may really want to have a registry. But if you can think of any other businesses for me, that would be awesome, because Cutco is a slice above every other company you're going to come across. And part of that is because of me and how I will serve you and come to you for that service. So just talk to your therapist, go in the shed. That's more.
I like that. Sharpest tool in the shed. Speaking of sharp, Pearl, are you able to join us in picture or in video?
Yes, sorry. I had to get to my screen really quick. Like, okay. Give me a minute. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to see. Oh, it's lovely to see some faces I haven't seen. Like Jim, nice to see you. And Felicia, even though I think she's on the phone. But good morning, everyone. Pearl Fulani with Lady Jewel, helping you build and elevate your brand through events, systems, and strategy. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got this morning.
Wow. Okay. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I got to tell you, David Hepburn is doing a thing through the rest of the end of the year that helps you to focus on recognizing through a couple of questions that I'm not going to share because he told me I'm not supposed to. But those questions help you to really fine tune, not just to say who you are, you know, for your 30-second, 60-second, you know, infomercial, but in fact, to hone in on who is your ideal client and who you help best and how you can attract that audience. Anyway, more about David later. Thank you, Pearl. Nice to see you. Pam. Always sounding good, Pam. Let me fix that for you. Not yet.
I did. Okay, I think I got it. Did I get it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Pam Schuler, I'm with Rites of Celebration, and I am an officiant for all kinds of life celebrations, especially hand fastings and weddings and vow renewals. But celebration of life needs to have a lot more between a wedding and a funeral. And so I also include life celebrations for all stages of life, including welcome to the world for babies and other transitional times. We need to spend more time celebrating the big transitions in our lives to make our lives feel fuller, more full of purpose, and bringing more joy to the world. And so everyone in this group provides services for those kinds of ceremonies or groups. I try to remind people that they need those kinds of celebrations.
I love that, Pam. You know, we are in the celebration business and we're always so focused on our couples and our corporate clients and our travelers to make sure that they celebrate. Just recognize that it's okay for us to take a moment to celebrate our wins in life and daily. And Robert, you're nodding, so I'm going to let you go next.
I may have just been, nodding off.
Not that kind of nodding. I was referring to an affirmation.
Yeah, yes. So my wife Cindy and I are duo Ocotillo, playing live music on one of those three cellos back there, classical guitar and mandolin, for all kinds of weddings, celebrations of life, everything in between. All kinds of music from Bach to Zed. At our most recent wedding, we rolled out a version of Metallica, Nothing Else Matters. You can see a short video of just the refrain on our make it go away. On our Facebook page and Instagram page. So playing music that has been described as like therapy you didn't know you needed.
And that is so true. I actually still have your soundtrack playing in my head from the event that we did over a year ago. I love that. And that's the one that Jerese planned, and I'm going to let her go next. But I have a quick suggestion. Bach to Zed. What about, because we're thinking A to Z, Amadeus to Zed?
That would be good if we had any Mozart.
Fair enough.
We have a lot of Bach. Bach is easy to arrange into anything.
Okay, then you caught me. Jerese, please.
Good morning, Jerese Kelly with MJK Events. And I like to assist my clients. Well, I like to help encourage them to do those celebrations, and I like to assist them with those plans, make the planning journey as easy and peaceful as possible, and give them the time and space during the actual event. If it's a wedding, it ends up being a full weekend. It's not just a wedding day, it's a full weekend of events. But give them that time and space to fully engage in that event with their friends and family and co-workers, to create memories. Those are very important to me. To capture them, almost more important than creating them. And then to be able to share them with their future generations, which is the utmost of importance to me. So Dries Kelly, MJK Events, for a magical, joyful, and kinetic event. Dries Kelly.
Bravo, bravo. I get asked so often, how much is it for 4 hours? I'd like to tell you, but I don't do 4-hour events. If you'd like to talk about 30 to 60 to 90 hours, oh my God, my wedding's only, the one day. Yes, but all of that time spent planning, creating, designing that unique experience. Even if you're not present, I'm working with the planner and the venue and everybody else in between to make that 4 hours magical. So your point is well taken. And Jerese and I are working together on an event that is just like that, because it's literally going to be a long haul. More on that later. Linda, take me somewhere exotic.
Just
everybody.
Linda, just take him. Doesn't matter where. Just
Take them and drop them in on the beach somewhere, huh? Or maybe I'll take them to Italy. But hey, I am Linda, your travel advisor with Linda's Travel Hut. I get you from point A to point B because that is where you want to be. And unfortunately, I will bring you back home. Sorry, you gotta work to get that next trip. But the value that James and I bring to the table is, let's just say you want a really nice dinner, but you don't want to cook. You go to a restaurant. You know how to cook. They can do it better because that is what they do. You go to a wedding, you can tell when you have a DJ and when you just plug in your phone and run a Spotify list. James and I, we do this. We know our business. We enjoy our business. That's why James has been in the business for over 4 decades. We have a lot of fun with it. You always want to trust the professionals. That's why you come.
I remembered, and it's so important. Linda did this great presentation live and in person at Event Ensemble at Panera Bread on the third Thursday. And I'm not sure if it was this year or last year, but I remember it so well because you talked about the couple who asked you to book them tickets for their wedding and their celebration in Jamaica. And it turned out to be 2 women. And it's not allowed. It's a no-no. So I was going to ask our travel experts, Jim and Linda, did you hear what's going on in Russia and how they've just outlawed homosexuality?
That's
I don't think I've
interesting.
seen anything on that one. Let's go Google.
Okay, well, I'll come
Google,
back
you
to
talk.
you two if you want, but I knew that you would want to know if you hadn't heard yet. Pretty remarkable. And it's a tough one to follow, but Wendy, I know you can, so take us there.
I think Wendy's participating in another.
Okay, she's
Wendy's
doing
not
double duty.
available at this time.
All right, thanks. And Felicia, I know, might be at the store or the shop.
Felicia is also not available at this time.
Look at you. You two are just too brilliant and too smart, and I'm moving on. So I'd like to introduce you to the gentleman today who is not George Costanza, but is going to teach us about the George Costanza Principle, and that is our very own David Hepburn. Bravo. Welcome.
Thank you, Scott. Robert, you guys play Tchaikovsky?
I'm sorry, repeat?
Do you play Tchaikovsky?
We do not have any Tchaikovsky in our repertoire right now, but there's probably a few that we could add.
As my father used to play hours of Tchaikovsky, so I have that in my head. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here today. We are discussing the Costanza Principle, and I have a question I'd like everybody to answer. When somebody says, "Why are you better than your competition?" what is your answer?
For me, that would be the way I do my service. I'm here for you. And I come to you and answer all your questions whenever you need me.
Okay, who else?
I just go based on my expertise. I've been to these areas so many times, and each person, when you say, "What's your favorite restaurant?" I say it's kind of like we're dating. You're playing 20 questions. So we have to get the answers to all my questions. So it's I don't want just an okay event. It has to be the most amazing thing that's ever happened to you.
Okay, anybody else?
I wouldn't say that we're better than our competition. There are many fine musicians in the Valley, but we are unique in the music that we play and the combination of instruments that we use. That sets us apart from our excellent competition.
When somebody asks you what makes you better than your competition, run away, because it's a gotcha question, because they don't know what's better. And you could be the best, but they have no idea about what is better than anybody else. However, you can say, "I don't know if I'm better than anybody else, but you say, this is how I'm different." And being different is the way that you get business. And being different leads us into the Costanza Principle.
You gotta take it to the next level. One in a billion.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Hepburn Jr.
Okay, nothing on the Festivus Bowl. Are we? Do we? Okay. Does everybody know who George Costanza is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So I'm not flying here. Here we go.
My life is the.
Speaking of having it all,
Where were you?
I'm in the class right now.
The beach.
oh, the beach.
Has been replaced by Uncle as crime skyrocketed across the nation as the radical Democrats are calling it the. Why did it all turn out like this for me? I had so much promise. I was personable. I was bright. Oh, maybe not academically speaking, but I was perceptive. I always know when someone's uncomfortable at a party.
Got napkin over there?
It all became very clear to me sitting out there today that every decision I've ever made in my entire life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have in every aspect of life, be it something to wear, something to eat, it's all been wrong. Everyone.
Tuna on toast, coleslaw, cup of coffee.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. I always have tuna on toast. Nothing's ever worked out for me with tuna on toast. I want the complete opposite of tuna on toast. Chicken salad on rye. Untoasted, with a side of potato salad, and a cup of tea.
Well, there's
There's no telling what can happen from this.
You know, chicken salad's not the opposite of tuna. Salmon's the opposite of tuna, because salmon swim against the current, and the tuna swim with it.
Good for the tuna.
George, you know that woman just looked at you.
So what? What am I supposed to do?
Go talk to her.
Elaine, bald men with no jobs and no money who live with their parents don't approach strange women.
Well, here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes. I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing and regret it for the rest of the day. So now I will do the opposite, and I will do something. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you were looking in my direction.
Oh, yes, I was. You just ordered the same exact lunch as me.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. George never got anything because he didn't always was wrong. So here's the Costanza Principle and how you deal with it. First of all, question cultural and business norms. Question everything you do in business.
David, you want to be sharing this list?
No, I don't want to be sharing. You know what? I'm going to walk away.
All right. Well, start with number one, please.
Okay, I'll get to number one as soon as I hit the share button. All right, there we go. So the principle, there's 4 steps to this. Question cultural and business norms. Why do you do the things that you do? And are you getting benefit from doing that, or are you just going on thinking that whatever you do works? But the questioning is the important thing. Number 2, embrace the opposite. When you look at what you're doing in your business, if you're doing it like everybody else, run away. Embrace the opposite. Number 3, experiment and adapt. When you try something that's the opposite and it doesn't work, so what? Move on. And number 4, develop personal resilience. And this one's really big because when we change something in our business, we're all freaked out about it. Oh my goodness. And if it doesn't work, what do we say? Next. But the whole idea behind the Costanza Principle is to do the opposite. Linda, will you read the slide for me, please?
To be in the 1%, you must do the opposite of everyone else.
And this one too, please.
The majority is always wrong.
This guy here is Dan Kennedy, and he's been a mentor of mine for 40 years. And when he talks, people listen. And when he's talking about the majority is always wrong. And the more that we try to grow our business by being what other people do, the less your business is going to grow. Because
is that Dan Kennedy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So if you don't have a good model for success, just look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. That gets us thinking there. So how do we apply the Costanza Principle? Number one, identify a situation where you feel stuck. What is something that's not working as well as you'd like it to work? And maybe it's working okay, but it could be working a lot better. But we're just going to keep doing it because it's working okay. It doesn't work so well. So analyze prevailing norms, expectations, and conventional wisdom. Why am I doing this? What is it getting me? What are the negatives of doing this? The more that you question what you're doing, the more you'll get closer to where you need to be. Number three is brainstorm alternative approaches. You could do it in here in this group because we're all doing something different. We can give each other great ideas if we're willing to be open to them. But a lot of times, my business is going good. I don't want to change anything. That's going to be because we're more scared of the change than we are of mediocrity. Number four, experiment with new strategies. And number five, assess the outcomes and adjust course. The Costanza Principle is really about running your business by you. Not what Bob Berg said, not what Alan, whatever his name is, says, not anybody else that we read. Run your business like you. Would you do your business this way if you were just starting the business? Now, this is a conversation. This isn't me spewing for half an hour. So if you have comments on different things that I say, and maybe you disagree.
I appreciate the invitation to jump in here for a second, and then Pearl, I'll let you go because they're always tired of hearing from me. A friend of mine who's a fellow DJ, MC, he said, I just attended an event and I listened to the MC, and I have to say, I really need to up my game. And my response was, you can learn from those who are equally or greater talent than yourself, but never change you because there's only one of you. And so you can learn, you can adapt and change your approach, but just recognize you got to do you because it is the you that is the unique, that is the one thing that nobody else can copy. Pearl.
To your point, Scott, when people buy you, they're buying you. They're not buying what you do. They're buying you and how you do what you do. Go ahead, Pearl.
Yeah, I was thinking about kind of just the overall concept and thinking when the pandemic hit as a planner, I went in slightly different directions than most of my friends. But it also gave me an opportunity to reassess what I wanted to do. And I was like, and I really wanted to do corporate events. So I took out all the social events and said no, and went in a different direction. So it really works. But I also like Scott saying you still get to, because my question is going to be like, well, you still learn from people, right? It's still good to know what's going on in your industry with your colleagues and those that are in your similar line of work, but then applying it and doing you, like running your business the way you want to do it and not the way everyone else tells you to do it.
Yeah.
Or you think you should do it, or the way you think you should. I think for me, it's the should. I should be doing this. It's the shoulds that get me. Then let's do this.
Okay, Pearl. Never should on yourself.
Touche. Jim, you had your hand up.
Oh, you're muted, Jim.
I said, Jimmy Buffett taught me how to run my business. He told me it was okay to be a pirate. And on my card, I'm the travel pirate. People in London, Africa, the Caribbean. Oh, I know you. You're the travel pirate guy on AOL, dude. I've been to 106 countries. I've tried to live my life like Jimmy Buffett, not always as successful as him, unfortunately. But it's me. That's who I am. I don't bow. I don't give in. If you don't believe me, then work it out yourself. This is why it works that way. So,
Jim, at least you aren't wasting away in Margaritaville.
nope. Some days, but not often enough.
Therese, will you read this slide for us, please?
Yes, hold on. To be yourself. What?
I should have asked somebody else. I forgot you're on the phone.
That's okay. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Emerson wrote this probably 100 years ago. And in our microwave society, it's even more important.
David, it's such a reminder that we live in a crab pot. And all the crabs really just want us to stay down and stay with them in their nice, comfy space. And when you try to do something different, they'll
pull you back, won't they?
They'll pull you back. Just live in that opposite zone. It's actually my comfort zone.
Pam, will you read this? Oops, went the wrong way. Will you read this one, please?
There we go. Okay. By questioning all the aspect businesses or business, we continuously improve. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read off my phone. By questioning all the aspect business, we continuously improve and invocation into our culture. Inject. Oh, there. Okay, I missed a word. Totally, it's hard. Bad. By questioning all the aspects of our business, we continuously inject improvement and innovation into our culture. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Let's bravo for Pam, who did not give up. Kudos for you. Well done.
Thanks. My phone was just not cooperating. Sorry.
When was the last time you actually took stock of everything that you do in your business?
David, I want to be like a 5-year-old. But why? I mean,
well, you don't have to be like a 5-year-old. You can just be like yourself.
But the questioning, the introspection as to why do you do it that way?
You want to know why you have to introspect? Thank you. The reason that you have to examine everything that you're doing in your business is because one little thing that you're doing in your business may be stopping you from stratospheric success. And if everything that you do, you don't know the things that you're doing, you're not charting them, you're not following them, How can you how can you know what you need to change? How can you know what's not working? At one point in the early 2000s, I belonged to 10 chambers of commerce and the Arizona Small Business Association. And one of my coaches said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, I have to network and get business." He said, "Well, how much business are you getting from these chambers?" I never thought to look to see what I was getting out of the business. After examining them for 6 months, I dropped 9 chambers, kept 1 chamber and the Small Business Association, because that's where business was coming from. I wasn't going to go to Mesa on the count that I might get 1 client in a whole year. That just doesn't make any sense. But had I not looked at what I was doing, I would still be in 10 chambers. Robert, can you read this one for us, please?
Go ahead and act as if your decisions are temporary, because they are. Be bold, make mistakes, learn a lesson, and fix what doesn't work. No sweat, no need to hyperventilate. Seth Godin.
David, I accidentally muted you, so hit your button. But I can't believe you didn't ask me to read the Seth Godin quote here.
Well,
but well done, Robert.
It's because you would add all kinds of junk in there, and I wanted a true voice to read it.
Okay.
No need to hyperventilate.
Yeah, this is the most important message of all, people. What's that quote about fail fast, David?
About what? Fail fast?
Fail fast.
Yeah, if you want to go faster, fail faster. Thomas Watson, the guy who founded IBM, said that the secret to success is to fail faster. It means because you're doing more and more things that are getting you to where you want to be. When Steve Jobs came back to Apple after he had been banished by John Scully, Apple was in a free fall. Apple was 90 days away from bankruptcy. Jobs cut out 70% of their product line. And he said, these are the things we're going to focus on. He came in, he did the complete opposite of what Apple was doing. And he actually ignited what is the biggest company in the world now by doing the opposite. How can your business grow by you doing the opposite of what you're doing now or what everybody else is doing? Bob Bly is a great copywriter, and he says, listen to your instincts and then do the opposite.
Take a breath real quick, David. I just want to pass kudos to the people in this room, because so many of us are really doing the opposite already. But it is so important to hear this message that I invited David to bring it to us. Robert, your explanation as to are you different, and your recognition that you're not, that you're not better or best, but that you're different was right on point. And Pam, your hand fasting truly makes you unique amongst many other things that you do for ceremonies. And Sandra, obviously the way you do it is different than all others. So kudos. And if I didn't name you all, just recognize that I see it in you.
Go ahead, Pearl.
I understand this quote and what it's trying to say, but I feel like it's not always true. Sometimes your instincts are leading you in the right path. And, I just had to do me and say it out loud.
Okay, well, we'll go to the next slide. So forget this slide. Jim, can you read this one for us?
Sure. The world is full of paradoxes and life is full of opposites. The art is to embrace the opposites, accommodate the paradoxes, and live with a smile. Ravi Shankar.
Embrace the opposites.
Yeah,
Accommodate paradox.
sorry, David, I'm just jumping on you. I apologize. Van Gogh said he had to learn all the rules so that he could break them. So don't think that you're just going to do the opposite without knowing what you need to know first.
Did he hear himself say that?
He did.
The more you are like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes you unique. The problem with most people is that they spend their lives trying to emulate others. And so we have lots of copies, but few originals. There's a whole industry out there. I call it the guru. That's GOOROO industry, where they say, do like me and you can be a millionaire. Here's my course, do like me. Here's the problem with all of those courses. You are not them. You're not Tony Robbins. So the way that you're going to do what he's telling you to do is going to come out differently because it worked for him, but it's not going to work for you. Now, can you take some things that they say? Absolutely. I prefer to go with Mark Twain. Majority is always wrong. Whenever you find that you're on the side of the majority, it's time to reform or pause and reflect. Jim.
One of my sayings in life is, when I become the voice of reason, be very afraid.
I like it. To make great ideas a reality, and you all have great ideas about your business, we must act, experiment, fail, adapt, and learn on a daily basis. If I were to ask, when was the last time that you failed doing something, I would bet it would be quite a while for most people, because we fear that word, failure. But failure is just an opportunity to begin again and do it better. And the sooner that we experiment, the sooner that we try new things, the sooner that we extend what we're doing, the sooner our business is going to grow. Pearl, I guess I'm going to have you read this. It's long, but I think it's worthwhile for the conversation that we have today.
Okay. Education. Nothing important or meaningful or beautiful or interesting or great ever came out of imitations. The thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect in the way people expect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. This is more difficult because there is no zeitgeist to read, no template to follow, no mask to wear. Set aside what your friends expect, what your parents demand, what your acquaintances require. Begin with that most terrifying of all things, a clean slate. Then look every day at the choices you are making, and when you ask yourself why you are making them, find this answer: for me and for me, because they are who and what I am and mean to be. And Quindlen. Annie Quindlen.
Annie Quindlen. Don't try to be the next somebody. Be the first you. And as always, fall in love with your clients.
I liked that last statement, and I have to go to my next meeting, but I really liked that. Don't try to be the next somebody. Be the first you. Amen.
Amen.
Agreed, Pearl. Like you, I have a 10 o'clock I need to get to.
Thank you, everyone. You're appreciated. And for those that can stay, we'll do a little wrap up. But it's been a great day, and we invite you all to make it a successful event. Thanks, Pearl.